Hello everyone and welcome back to this month's Beyond the Board. Today we are talking about Lego Batman with a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Prnced. I am one of the founders of Lego Batman Bingo, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you very much for being here. How is it that you've gotten into speedrunning and specifically Lego Batman speedrunning?
Well, I started speedrunning end of 2015 with some Super Mario 64, and after a while I got bored with that and decided, hey, how about Lego Star Wars 2? And I had a lot of fun with that. Just played it with my college roommate, just casually, and looked at some of the speedrun videos at the time, which pretty much was just AGDQ 2011. And I'm like, I can beat that time. And eventually I did. And then I moved on to other different Lego games, Lego Star Wars 1, Lego Star Wars 2. Eventually I found my way to Lego Batman 1. And I have enjoyed every single second of it.
What's your favorite aspect of Lego Batman and why?
Something that sets Lego Batman apart from the different Lego games is that this was the first, and I believe, to my knowledge, is the only Lego game that you can actually skip cutscenes right away for story mode. You don't have to enter any cheat codes to cut them out, and that is something that's very special to this game that I love. Along with that is some of the different game mechanics. Obviously, you've got Batman and Robin, but then if you go into the villain levels, you've got a whole array of different characters and special things that they can do, like walking toxic or jump high, things like that.
How exactly did you get into bingos for Lego Batman?
I don't remember when I started creating the bingo board for it, but I believe it was shortly after a GDQ of some sort. And there was a bingo for a game there, and I was playing Lego Batman at the time. And I thought, why not bingo for this game? I've thought about it briefly for Lego Star Wars 2, because that's my other main Lego game. And I thought, no, that one doesn't work, because it's got cutscenes all over the place, and you have to unlock certain levels, and it just didn't make sense for that game. And so I'm like, okay, well, Lego Batman, you've got a good starting point. If as soon as you start the game, you can go into any of the 3 hero episodes. You start in episode 1, but you can exit out and go back to the other 2. But something special with this Lego game is that after you play through one of the episodes, one of the hero episodes, you unlock its corresponding villain episode. And so that's something that I thought, well, this aspect of the game is kind of special and unique and just great for bingos, is that you have to do this in order to accomplish that. And so that just kind of clicked in my mind. I'm like, that is what a bingo should be. And so I just started working on it. I asked the Lego Batman community for help in it, and they were all wonderful in helping me out. And here we are today.
What exactly made you stick with the Lego Batman bingos? What is it that makes it so fun?
A lot of it has to come from all the different skips you can do. And this game has gotten to the point where walls are pretty much just a suggestion. And so you're going through walls and you're doing some launches and you can basically fly in this game. And I think that's something that really holds you to this game.
You've already mentioned the skippable cutscenes, but is there anything else that makes Lego Batman stand out compared to other Lego games?
We compare Lego Batman to some of the first engine Lego games, like Lego Star Wars 1, 2, The Complete Saga, Lego Indiana Jones, and Batman, then what we can see is they all kind of have a progression of here's an episode, here's an episode, here's an episode. But with Batman specifically, those villain episodes are only unlocked after you play through their corresponding hero episodes. With something like the Lego Star Wars games, once you complete the first level of the game for like Lego Star Wars 1, as soon as you complete 1-1, you unlock every single episode. You can just go wherever you want them. For Lego Star Wars 2, as soon as you complete 4-1, that's when you can go into episode 5 or 6. With Lego Batman, sure, the game puts you into 1-1 right away, but you can exit out and go right into 2-1 or 3-1.
What's the most challenging or the most engaging part? Is it routing, execution, or is it anything else?
Most difficult, obviously, right away is doing the routing, because with how we've done it, we've given ourselves about anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes to look over the card and route, and then you would start. And so for those first few minutes, that's the most intense thing is, okay, where am I going to have to go in order to complete a triple bingo? And you try to look through, okay, I would need to complete 20 levels in order to complete this triple bingo here. Or, ooh, here's a different route that only completes 18 levels. And so sometimes it's looking at how many levels you need to complete. Sometimes it's looking at what you need to complete in those levels. Sometimes doing 20 levels is going to be better than 18 because maybe one of those 18 is doing something that's really, really long, specifically doing 10 mini-kit goals. And so some of those can get really long. Yeah, there is the aspect of routing to it, but knowing what's in your route and how long it's going to take you to do that is another really difficult thing to actually know when routing.
So now, when you normally play through the LEGO games, then they're fairly linear, and then you've got the ability to come back to all the levels and play them with so much more freedoms and choose whichever character you want. So how does this affect the bingos?
One of the aspects of your routing is if you need this specific character for a free play, let's say the Joker, first of all, you need to go through episode 3, and then you need to play the first level of episode 6 to unlock Joker. Then you would have to go back to episode 1, complete whatever level you needed to, and then go back to it in free play. And so doing something like that could cost you anywhere from 7 to 11 levels. And so that's something to really consider in your routing is not everything is unlocked right away. You have to unlock it as you go. But once you're in free play, depending on what characters you have, you can pretty much go anywhere you want.
What do you think is something that constitutes as a fun and engaging goal, or one that you would think, I do not like this at all, maybe it needs to be rebalanced, or it's just a personal preference that you do really not like this goal?
For the first iteration of our bingo board, we had a few of those that needed rebalancing, specifically looking at some of the mini kits. We first started out with, okay, how many mini kits can you get in story mode reasonably? And sometimes that was anywhere from, I think, like 2 all the way to 10. And it's like, okay, well, obviously you're not going to do 10 in story mode. Maybe you will, but that's kind of ridiculous. So let's cut it back. Let's say maybe 5. So we'll have this level 5 plus mini kits, this level, or the same level 10 mini kits. And we had that for pretty much everything where it was max amount of story mini kits and 10 mini kits. And a lot of those 10 mini kits needed rebalancing.
When it comes to routing during the game, is there an aspect that perhaps some people might not think of, and maybe that there's a thought process behind the routing that can damage one's potential, or that can just completely lock you out of some stuff?
Well, let's say someone tries to avoid all of the 10 mini kit goals. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can, and maybe sometimes when you can, maybe you have to hit up every single episode, and sometimes you have to go all the way through those episodes. Or at least you would have to go through all the heroes to get to the villains, but maybe you have to go all the way to the end of the villains, and that would be something that's kind of detrimental to whoever's doing that board. Because if they're trying to avoid a 10 mini kit here or there, we'll put it simply, it's not good. Because maybe it takes you 4 minutes to do a 10 mini kit goal, while going through every single episode. Let's say you're doing like the quote unquote any percent, which is called all episodes. That takes about hour 45 minutes. Well, if you're cutting out maybe 2 of those episodes, well, maybe now you're down to hour 20 minutes.
Let's say we're looking at someone who's completely new to LEGO Batman, and let's say they're interested in picking up LEGO Batman bingos. Is there some kind of barrier of entry for those people, and do you have any advice for them in that regard?
I would start with speedrunning some of the normal categories, either doing like hero story, villain story, all episode story, diving into some of the free plays. Something that would really, really help you out is doing 100%. Or if you were to do all red bricks, all hostages, all mini kits, doing some of those so that you familiarize yourself with locations of collectibles, that would really help you out. Joining the Lego Batman speedrunning Discord server, posting in there, how do I do this trick? We are happy to help you. We have many people who can give you some information on any questions you have, whether it's speedrunning or technical. The Lego Batman speedrun.com leaderboard has a few different speedrunning guides on there. We've also got a skip document where you can go level by level and see all the different types of skips and how to do them.
Now, when we've got these speedrunners who are only doing speedruns so far, do you think that there's a way that they might benefit from doing bingo in some way?
I would think so. I guess one aspect of it is that there are skips in bingos that you don't normally see in the speedruns because sometimes they get obsolete. One goal that comes to mind is doing episode 1, chapter 2, an icy reception, doing that with Robin only. So there are a few different skips then where you're only Robin throughout this level, but if you were to do it the speedrun way, you're going to be doing a lot of different pagan warps or drop-in warps and doing 2 controller strats. And so if your bingo card pulls up a do this level, this person only goal, that is something that's very special to bingos and doesn't necessarily apply to speedruns, but if you were to somehow get stuck in your speed run, maybe those bingos would give you an idea of, hey, there's a backup for this if I were to use this person in this way.
So, do you think that there is a way for the community to further support bingos?
Absolutely. Just attending or participating, watching BingoThon. That's one big thing that can help bingos in general.
Obviously.
Specifically for Lego Batman bingos, we've had Lego Batman bingo tournaments. I think we've only had one so far, but we're in the talks of doing a second one. I think Los just posted something about asking if we start setting it up. So if you're a Lego Batman speedrunner or bingo speedrunner, keep that in mind. We might have a tournament coming out pretty soon. More information about that can be found in the LEGO Speedruns Tournament Discord server, which can be found in the LEGO Speedrunning server.
We're at the end here, so any final words you'd like to say?
First off, I want to say a big thank you to all the different LEGO Batman speedrunning community members, the mods for the game, Los, Noteo, Xenor, and Speedermon. They are all wonderful people, wonderful speedrunners, very knowledgeable about the game, and they've been very, very helpful setting up and running some of these bingo boards, races, tournaments. They've been absolutely wonderful. A lot of the other members in here, Guildmaster, Chimkin, We Super, WBT, there's too many people to mention, but basically every single LEGO Batman speedrunner has been very helpful for the bingos and speedruns. So a huge thank you to them.
Well, thank you very much for being here and for talking with us about LEGO Batman in here. Do make sure to give Prnced a follow on all the social media and Twitch and all the other stuff that is probably gonna be linked below, and we will see you next month. See ya!
Bye.